Joined now for more on this by former longtime columnist for the Chicago Tribune, John Cass. And you're looking right now, you retired police union vice president, Patrick Murray. There's John right there. John, we'll get to you in a minute. But Patrick, these images, very powerful. Take us through how difficult a day like this is for the department.
It's extremely difficult to get through this. There's far too many people that have made the ultimate sacrifice. And for the families, it's extremely hard.
John, let's bring you in here now, because I remember reading your column in 2018 after the shooting death of Commander Paul Bauer. It stays with me today. Last time I saw, I think 32 officers had either been shot or shot at in Chicago. And one of the things you wrote in that column was how people in Chicago were numb because it was a city that was in pain. Do you think things have gotten any better since then?
They've gotten worse. It's now a city of anarchy. I grew up here. I was born here. I've worked here. The city is now unmoored, and the sacrifice of Officer French is devastating and hurtful to everybody in the city. She cared about the city. She cared about the people on the other side of the badge. There are many stories about her compassion. Mm-hmm. And when the pipes stopped, her family, meaning the men and women in blue for the Chicago Police Department, won't forget her. Mm. And I guess we can take some comfort in that, Joe.
Right. Patrick, do you think that something like this, as tragic as it is, sort of galvanizes not only the police department, but galvanizes the city in a way, too?
Well, I think people realize how difficult it is to be a policeman in the city of Chicago. And that's one of the things that people reach out and, they need, the police are needed in this town. And I think that this shows how tough this job is and what could happen at any time in this city at any time.
We mentioned that there was an officer who was shot as well, who was with Officer French, injured, did survive, and that officer released an emotional video from his hospital bed. We want to share that with you now. We'll get your thoughts after.
Thank you for your support, and your donations, and your prayers. I love you all. To my son CJ and my wife, Brenda. I did this all for you.
Patrick, let's bring you back in on this. First of all, how is he doing? Do you know? And how emotional was it for you to see that?
He's getting better. I guess he's getting better little by little. He's got a long road of recovery. It's tough watching this because I worked in Englewood, and he's originally an Englewood police officer. I met Officer French before, to one of my friends that worked in the 12th District, and it's extremely tough. Each and every, you meet several officers during the course of time on your job, unfortunately, who pay the ultimate sacrifice.
John, I want to bring you back in on a poll from this week. The public's view of the police department in Chicago, almost 70% view it positively, which is up from almost, 60% a couple of months ago. Here are some other details from this poll that we're talking about. Mayor Lightfoot's approval down to 42%, and Kim Foxx even lower than that at 34%, who's taken some heat for the way she's prosecuted or not prosecuted, as the case may be. John, do you think this might indicate a turning point, at least as far as that police approval number goes, from a community relations standpoint?
From a community relations standpoint, yes. It's important for people to realize that it's not the worst case. Many of the police are, care about the people on the other side of the badge and treat them with respect. It's the politicians who've caved in to the anti-defund police sentiment. They're the ones who egged them on. They're the ones who supported those mostly peaceful protesters. They're the ones who work these coppers 12 hours a day without vacations or days off. And these police officers are breaking. They're demoralized. They're just breaking, and it's terrible.
The other story, John, here that I want to get you on, and Patrick as well, is the situation in Philadelphia where folks are now calling for the National Guard to come in there to try to stop the violence in Philly. The mayor says it's not going to happen. John, do you think this works in any way?
I don't believe in military occupations of American cities. All right? I can see National Guard coming into select neighborhoods in terms of shutting down some traffic. Where you have drive-by police. Pat knows all about that, and drive-by shootings. There's some thoroughfares that the gangbangers take, but I don't like military occupation of American towns when we're leaving Afghanistan, for God's sake.
Right.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, we saw it, John, as you know, in Chicago here. The National Guard came in after the looting that we saw, and it is unsettling. Patrick, quickly, your thought on this, I guess beyond the fact that it happens, because it may not, but how does it work with police in Philly or Chicago?
Well, I would disagree with John, because I think the more people that you bring in, these gangbangers, we have 100,000 gangbangers in the city of Chicago right now. They do not respect the police. And the more help that we can get to address, they only know one thing, and that's action against them. They don't respect anyone. They're out here slaughtering people. And you know what? There's no talking to them at all. They only know one thing, and that's take and go right at them. And unfortunately, we hesitate today because of people like Kim Foxx and because of people like the mayor, and that needs to stop.
All right,
One thing, Joe.
Go ahead, John, quickly button it up.
One thing, Joe. One thing we do know, no matter what all these politicians say, and I agree with Pat on a lot of stuff, people don't just vote with their fingers, they vote with their feet. And in city after city, where it gets violent and overcome, people vote with their feet, and they're gone.
John Cass, John Cass News and the Chicago Way podcast. Good to see you, John. As always, Patrick Murray, retired
Joe.
Vice President of the Fraternal Order of Police here in Chicago. Thanks for your time, both of you.